Hi, and welcome to a special edition of Sangha News. For those who don't know me, my name is John Spalding, and I lead the development and communications effort here at IMS. We miss connecting with you, so I thought we would try to bring a piece of IMS right to your inbox. Our teacher today is Devin Berry, who's joining me over a cup of tea. So before we begin, if you want to grab a cup with us, just hit pause, come back, hit play, and join us for a short Dharma talk. Devin, thanks for joining us.
Hey, John. Thanks for having me.
Do you have some tea?
I do. I have my favorite chai tea. It's black tea with some cinnamon, cardamom, clove, just enough sugar and a little bit of milk.
Well, we are both going the spicy route because I've got honey chai turmeric vitality, which is full of spice as well. I think yours might be a little
Excellent.
spicier.
Yeah, mine's a little spicier. I'm trying to mimic some teas that I had in India that were fantastic. It's
I'm
not
sure.
quite 100% match, but it's close.
Yeah, I'm sure that you've had some memorable retreat experiences that involved a cup of tea. Any come to mind?
Absolutely. I think probably the thing that comes to mind the most is actually every time I walk into IMS and past the tea station, sort of the same memory as of being a yogi comes up of, you know, um, being on 3 month retreat and being well into the retreat and it's winter, maybe there's a little bit of rain or the first snowfall and grabbing a cup of chai and heading over to the window and watching the snowfall and uh, the mind's a little bit quiet, the heart's opened up a little bit, so I'm really feeling the sensations of physical warmth of the tea and going through my body and the warmth on the cup on my hands and watching the brightness of the sun and the snow outside, and all of it is really like quite alive, and so it's a memory that sticks with me quite a bit.
Yeah, I think so many of us have that association of IMS retreats and tea because it's just the tea stations are right there, and we all have our favorite brew that we like to make while we're there. For me, it's British tea, which I don't drink any other time, but for some reason when I'm at IMS, that's one I like to go to. And then also ginger and chamomile,
Ah, see,
which is
I'm
another
strictly a green tea in the morning and a cup of chai in the afternoon,
yeah,
consistently.
it sounds good. So Devin, what inspired you to be a teacher?
Hmm. I think it's more. So the inspiration to teach actually has come from the teachers who have taught me over the years, both at IMS and at other places. And I think I was content and happy being a yogi and practicing in that way and learning what I could um, and seeing things unveiled and sort of being in the natural flow of practice and watching the practice unfold over many weeks at IMS. And I don't know that I think in doing any of that I thought I would be teaching. Um, but several years later, there were a couple of teachers at both at IMS and locally in the Bay Area that suggested or asked if I was interested in teaching a class or two or leading a group. And I did, and basically I did, knowing that this was actually an opportunity to share what I had learned, to share some of the practices that had been transformational for me. Yeah, and so that's the frame that I've used, and I've become comfortable with the teaching role, but I don't think I set out to be a teacher.
And you're also, of course, a participant in IMS's the first cohort of our teacher training program, which finishes next in 2021. And I believe you recently probably had one of your first gatherings with the full class in the COVID-19 era. So that was online. Is that?
Yes, yeah. So we just finished this a couple of weeks ago, maybe, and it was our first one online. And the obvious was what was missing is that we weren't in the same room together, so we weren't able to offer the hugs and support in that way, and to sit together, to be able to laugh together sort of after hours and off hours. And, we have a lot of fun together as a group, and have grown quite close and quite fond of each other. And I was, pleasantly surprised at how well the online format worked for this training. All of our core teachers were there, and we had several guests that joined us. And so, we had some lively, rich discussions and breakout rooms, and were able to do much of what we do in person. This is what's available to us now, both in retreat and training. So we're all getting used to it. And I think should our next one be online, I think, we will make that transition and do what we have to do. And we'll also await the day that we can be together in person.
Yeah, and speaking of online, you're co-teaching an IMS online retreat with Annie Nugent and Deborah Heltzer that starts on June 9th. So that'll be a week from when people are seeing this. What can folks expect on that retreat?
Yeah, so anyone that's already registered for that retreat that was coming certainly will be able to expect what we would have done in person. So much in the classical vein, the fundamental teachings will be offered. And of course, we will be doing that through the lens or through the frame of folks practicing at home in this COVID era. So we'll make sure to be able to adjust and tailor some things so that those folks practicing at home will be able to have a full retreat experience from their home.
Yeah, I must say it's nothing quite matches doing a retreat at IMS, at the physical location. But I have to say the IMS online retreats, which, we launched pretty quickly, just a couple months ago, I find them remarkably rich experiences, and we've gotten some great feedback. Anything else that you'd like to share before we sign off?
No, other than really encouraging people to check it out. If you haven't had a chance to sit a retreat at IMS ever, or if you haven't had a chance to sit an online retreat, then this may be the one to start. I did have an opportunity to sit an IMS online retreat with Carol Wilson and Alexis Santos, and it was absolutely fantastic. Of course, different than the in-person IMS experience, but nonetheless, it was a full retreat experience that I was able to have at home. So encourage everyone to check it out.
Right. Well, thank you so much for sharing a little time with us today, Devin. And thanks to everyone who's watching. As I said, we miss you, and we hope to see you soon, whether online or in Barrie when the time comes. Just for information on the upcoming retreat that we just talked about with Devin, Annie, and Deborah Heltzer, click the links below for more information. And thanks for joining us.